you had a hand up, yes.
Does your grandma tell people that you're famous?
Does my grandma?
Tell people that you're famous.
Oh, my grandmother passed away, so oh no, it's not sad. She's dead. It was gonna happen. Because she's 96 years old. This is a thing that happened. Yeah. No. Don't worry. It's not like no, really. It's not a sad thing. She probably does in heaven, maybe. Maybe that's like but she never told people that I was famous. You see, this is an interesting departure from, I think, American celebrity culture in particular, is that where I grew up and how I grew up, fame wasn't really a currency in that way. So we grew up knowing people, but fame wasn't a thing. Does that make sense? So like people would just be like, oh, Trevor, hey, Trevor. You know what I mean? They'd be happy for me. They'll be, like when I got pulled over by the police when I went home recently, which is very normal in South Africa, it's not like a thing. Here it's like, wow, something's gonna happen. In South Africa, in America, it's like that. And then in South Africa, they're just like, yeah, everyone pull over. And the cops come and they just chat to you and whatever. And they do. It's really chilled out. Like, in fact, sometimes getting pulled over relaxes you in South Africa, you know? Because traffic is stressful, driving is stressful, and then the cops are like, pull over, and you're like, oh, finally, yeah. And they come to the window and they're like, how are you, sir? And you're like, oh man, actually, I'm glad you pulled me. I'm feeling good. And then the cop, he was just like, Trevor, what are you doing here, my man? What are you doing here? Aren't you working? Then I was like, yeah, no, I'm working. I'll be back on Monday. He's like, yeah. Must go back to work, eh? Must go back to work so you can talk about Joe Biden, eh? So, yeah, it's like, it's an interesting thing. So, I don't think I don't think ever even said the words famous in that way. She almost said famous more like it's a job. If that does this make sense? I know this is a weird thing, but it's like, remember, my grandma's an African grandmother. She doesn't think of famous as a concept. She thinks of it more as like, what does he do? Oh, he does famous. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does famous, and then, some people know him for that, and then, yeah, but I think I always appreciated that about her, is that like, I am as famous to my grandmother as all my other cousins, as my other siblings, you know what I mean? Which I think is pretty ridiculous. I mean, you ask me, but I mean, she's a grandmother. That's what she does. I just wonder what grandparents are doing. I wonder what anyone is doing in heaven. Must be weird. Like, old people probably like heaven. Heaven seems like an old people place. If you're young and you go to heaven, you're just like, aww. Because everything they describe about heaven is pretty much, it's like church. It's long church. No, they do. I grew up in church. That's what they say heaven will be. They say like, and you'll praise the Lord for the end, till the end of your days. It's like nonstop. The trumpets will be blowing. The angels will be singing. It's basically church forever, for eternity. And I can see my grandmother being like, now this is what I came for.